Okay, good morning all of you. Let's get started. I think there is some problem with recording. Yesterday I sent you assignment. This assignment due date is March 1st, but you need to start attempting these questions. The first question is using least square weighted residual method, and I hope you understand this notation. U double prime is second derivative of u with respect to x. U single prime is first derivative of u with respect to x. Okay, and we'll discuss further on this question as we progress today's class. Any questions from yesterday's class? Please note that yesterday we looked at this weighted residual method. Yesterday we looked at this weighted residual method, starting with this example. Okay, taking this as a reference example, we started. The first step in weighted residual method is to define error function, and also you need to start with a trial solution. Yesterday in the problem that we solved, quadratic trial solution is taken, and then whatever trial solution you choose, you make it admissible by making or enforcing the essential boundary conditions, and you get admissible solution. Admissible solution is going to have some unknown parameters to be determined, and this admissible solution, you need to take required number of derivatives and substitute into the error function. This is the error function, and once you get this error function in least square weighted residual method, the weight function is, you can once you understand this concept, you can directly skip. You don't need to go for each of the problem. You don't need to go through all these steps. You can directly jump to this one. This is the criteria, least square weighted residual criteria. So once you get error function, in the error function, you are going to have unknown coefficients. As many number of coefficients as you have, you take derivatives, and you are going to get so many equations here, and then simplify this integral. And here finally you will be getting, depending on the number of coefficients that needs to be determined, you are going to get so many equations. You need to solve those simultaneous equations. Linear system of equations you need to solve for the unknown coefficients. Here in the example problem that we looked at, only one coefficient needs to be determined. One unknown parameter needs to be determined. So one equation is obtained, and that equation is solved. And here in the assignment problem, you are asked to start solving this problem using quadratic polynomial. So you can start similar to whatever we in the example problem we looked at. U is equal to a0 plus a1x plus a2x square. You can start with that. Okay, that is first part of the question. Second part is cubic polynomial. a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube. You need to start with. Okay. But here in this assignment problem, one of the boundary condition is essential boundary condition, other boundary condition is natural boundary condition. So when you are making the solution admissible, you need to use only this essential boundary condition, the first one. Essential boundary condition you need to use, make it admissible, and proceed as you did in this example problem. If you had understood this example problem clearly, as you did here, you need to do, except a small change is going to be there. Here, please note that both the boundary conditions are essential boundary conditions. Okay? And we defined error function. We defined error function like this, and this error function is integrated over the problem domain. This error or the square of the error is integrated over the problem domain. So this is what is called domain or residual associated with the domain. You please make a note in your notebook. This is what is called domain residual, domain of the problem. The error in the domain of the problem, or weighted error in the domain of the problem. Okay? But when you have natural boundary condition, you are going to have, because u is approximate. Whatever u we are seeking, it's approximate. So even in the natural boundary condition, you are going to have some error. It's not going to satisfy exactly. So you need to do similar kind of error function. Error function is nothing but u prime, that is first derivative of u with respect to x, evaluated at x is equal to 3 minus 1. That is going to be your error function associated with the boundary. That, depending on how many number of coefficient unknown parameters it has, okay? So that boundary residual also needs to be added to the domain residual. Boundary residual also needs to be added to the domain residual. So what I suggest is you please think about this. We'll discuss further more on this example or this assignment problem as you keep solving the assignments. Okay. So in the assignment problem, in addition to the boundary domain residual, this is a domain residual. In addition to that, you are going to have boundary residual. So if you want, you make a note of that. This equation, you just take a note of this equation. Take a note of this equation. Or let me quickly type that so that it will be clear to you. So this is what you have this here. This is what you have, and in case of when you have the boundary residual as well, then this becomes, so then here you just add subscript. They add subscript to this. The subscript, or let me write this properly. Sorry. It is not. Sorry. What is this? Why? How to edit this? Anyway, D is subscript. Okay, D is subscript plus shit. This entire thing has to be evaluated. I'm unable to edit this equation here. That is the problem. Okay, or I will do it properly in tomorrow's class. This I don't know why it is taking so much time. But, anyway, you just make this E D is subscript. Okay, D is subscript, and here also D is subscript. B is subscript here. B is subscript, and this has to be evaluated at wherever natural boundary condition is specified. Okay, I will type it properly and send it to you by email. Somehow I'm unable to immediately do it here. Okay. Anyway, so you are going to get additional term when you have natural boundary conditions specified. Okay. In addition to essential boundary condition, you need to make your trial solution admissible, whatever essential boundary condition you have, and proceed in this manner, and then define your boundary or domain residual. And also, in addition, you need to define boundary residual. Domain residual is denoted with ED, E subscript D, and boundary residual is denoted with E subscript B. Okay. And then you can proceed in this way. And this only thing is this equation changes to this form, wherever D is there, that is subscript, okay, and then B is also subscript, and this has to be, please note that this is there is no integral for this. Because this is a one-dimensional problem. For one-dimensional problem, boundary is going to be a point. For two-dimensional problem, boundary is going to be an edge, okay, a line. So for the boundary integral for two-dimensional problem, this is going to be, you need to integrate along a line, whereas this is going to be a two-dimensional domain. This is going to be two-dimensional domain for 2D problem. For 3D problem, this is going to be three-dimensional integration, and here boundary is going to be two-dimensional integration. You, as we progress, you will understand better. But since we are dealing with one-dimensional problems, this boundary integral or boundary term needs to be evaluated at a point where you are going to evaluate, wherever you specify the natural boundary condition. Wherever you specify the natural boundary condition, at that point you need to evaluate it. And please note that this error function is based on boundary, the natural boundary condition. That also you need to keep in mind. So you please attempt this problem, assignment problem. You please attempt this assignment problem, or as we progress, we'll discuss more about this. Okay. So in today's class, let's discuss about this collocation method. Any question here? Any questions? Any questions? So let's go to collocation method. In collocation method, this you please make a note of this. In collocation method, basically what we are going to do is, instead of getting the error function, instead of integrating the error function over the problem domain, we are going to force the error function at a point, at a selected point. At a selected point, we are going to force the error function to 0. So that selected point is what is called collocation point. Xi is collocation point. Error, and which point you need to select as collocation point, that is all individual choice. Okay. So Xi is the collocation point. At that collocation point, or you select some point in the domain. In this particular problem, the domain is 0 to 1, and you can select either 0, including 0 and 1, any point in the domain, and force error at that particular point to 0. Okay, and this can be written, this equation, a function evaluated at Xi is equal to 0 can be written in this manner. You go back to Dirac delta properties, Dirac delta function properties. If you integrate, Dirac delta function is something like it is actually going to be, or it is denoted like this: delta x minus xi. Dirac delta, here when you write like this, what is the definition of this function? What is the definition of this? That is what is given here. Delta x minus xi is equal to 0. That function is going to look like, except at x is equal to xi, it's going to be 0 everywhere. At x is equal to xi, it's going to be infinity. The function value is going to be infinity at x is equal to xi, and at any other point other than xi, Dirac delta function is going to be 0. And when you integrate this function, from minus infinity to plus infinity, anyway, it's going to be 0 everywhere except x is equal to xi. So when you integrate it, this function, the area under that function is going to be 1. That is what is Dirac delta function. So this error function evaluated at xi is equal to 0, or error function evaluated at xi can be written as integral Dirac delta function multiplied by error function. Okay. So E evaluated at xi can also be written like this. That's why I'm doing this. Why I'm doing this kind of thing? Because this collocation method falls under the category of weighted residual methods. In weighted residual method, the definition is multiply the error function with a weight function, integrate over the problem domain. So weight function here is Dirac delta function. For collocation method, weight function is Dirac delta function. And but this integral is going to be same as E evaluated at xi. Any questions here? Okay, so this is just whatever this equation, it is rewritten in this manner just to show that this collocation method is one of the weighted residual method. Okay, any questions? So please take a note of it. Error function evaluated at xi is equal to 0. Xi is what is called collocation point. How do you select collocation point? It is your choice. You can select any point in the domain, including the boundaries, including 0 and 1 in the particular problem that we are looking at. Okay. So here you can read this one. Thus in collocation method, the weighting function is Dirac delta function. Okay, Wi is delta x minus xi. So this is how weight function is defined. And then now you select a collocation point. And collocation point that is selected here is midpoint between 0 and 1, which is half. And how it is selected? It is totally arbitrary. If you don't like midpoint, you can select quarter point. If you don't like quarter point, you can select 0 or 1. And force the error function to be 0 at that point. What is error function? What is error function? Yesterday we already noted error function is minus 2a2 minus sine pi x. So this is the error function. Evaluate this error function at pi, half. So it's going to be minus 2a2 minus sine pi divided by 2. Sine pi divided by 2 is going to be 1. So error function is going to be minus 1 minus 2a2. And a2 turns out to be this one. Now you substitute this a2, it is approximate or the admissible solution, you are going to get approximate solution. You please take a note of it. Hope you are following. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Any questions? So please take a note of this. Let me see any comments are there.
So domain is a problem, or do we have to choose the domain?
No, just it's not clear. Can you repeat?
So about my doubt is regarding domain of the problem, sir. So will it be defined in the problem statement, or we have to define it?
No. You are attending from the first class. Are you attending
Yes,
from the first? So
yes,
in the first, when we are actually deriving the governing differential equation for axial deformation of bar, when you say the governing differential equation, you also need to mention the problem domain. So it automatically comes from the physics of the problem. You should know what is the domain over which you need to solve. What is the domain over which you are trying to solve the problem? That has to be clear in your mind. Okay. Any questions?
Thank you, sir.
So please note that whatever I started, let me step back and summarize. I started showing this axial deformation of a bar, how the governing differential equation is derived, and also how to make a note of problem domain, and depending on the physics of the problem, how to make a note of boundary conditions. And then afterwards, we are focusing on approximate methods. And once it doesn't matter where that differential equation is coming from, where those boundary conditions are coming from. It can be from any discipline. Finally, once you translate physical phenomena into a mathematical problem, it's going to be a mathematical problem. So that's the reason we are focusing on a mathematical problem. Here, the problem that is taken, I don't know what physical phenomena exactly it's going to represent. You can assume it is given by somebody and you are asked to solve this problem. Okay, so that is where we started, and yesterday we looked at least square weighted residual method. In today's class we are looking at collocation method. In least square weighted residual method, the weight function is the partial derivative of error function with respect to the unknown parameters. In collocation method, the weight function is direct delta function, or you forget about this if it is too complicated for you. In collocation method, you need to select a few points and force error at those points to be equal to 0. First of all, how many number of points I'm going to select? How many number of points I need to select? So many number of unknown parameters that needs to be determined. Here, how many unknown parameter needs to be determined in the error function? Or how many unknown parameters that needs to be determined in the admissible solution? Admissible solution is only one, A2. A2 is the parameter that needs to be determined. So only one collocation point is enough if you select. And where do you select this collocation point? Where do you select this collocation point? It's all arbitrary. There is no strict guideline on that. There is no strict guideline on that. So I'm telling you, if there are 50 students in the class, if 50 students start from the same trial solution, and then solve using least square weighted residual method, all the 50 students are supposed to get the same answer. Whereas in the collocation method, it depends on what collocation point you select. 50 students can select different collocation points, 50 different collocation points between 0 and 1. You have infinite number of points between 0 and 1. So you can choose any of those infinite number of points and then force error at that point to be equal to 0. So that is the reason it's not necessary everybody should get same answer in collocation method. And if somebody is lucky enough, if they choose right collocation point, their solution, their approximate solution is going to be more accurate. So that is the limitation of this collocation method. And one more thing, if you want to apply this collocation method to the assignment problem, method to the assignment problem, second problem in the assignment is apply or solve problem 1 using collocation method. So when you select in collocation method, if you want to solve this, you need to select a collocation point. How many number of collocation points you are going to select, it depends on how many number of coefficients that needs to be determined in the admissible solution that you get after applying the essential boundary conditions. So many collocation points you are going to select, and collocation point can be selected any point between, in this problem it can be selected any point between 1 and 3, including 1 and 3. Including 1 and 3, any point can be selected. Okay, and force error at that point to 0. And again, here in collocation method also, depending on the selection of the collocation point. Suppose I just mentioned you can select any point between 1 and 3, including 1 and 3, okay? Any point between 1 and 3, including 1 and 3, you can select for this problem if you are solving using collocation method. But if you select a point which is on the boundary, that is either 1 or 3, if you select, if at that point natural boundary condition is specified, if at that point natural boundary condition is specified, you need to include the boundary residual as well. Okay, so when you are choosing collocation method, if you don't want to complicate the problem, you better choose a point which is slightly away from the boundary. Or if you want to try, you can try. Let's say you selected one of the collocation point as 3. Okay, one of the collocation point as 3. When you select this collocation point 3, natural boundary condition is specified at that point. So in addition to the boundary, in addition to the domain error, you need to include the boundary error as well. Okay, just keep that in mind and think about it. And if you have any further questions, we'll discuss more. Okay, anyway, let's focus on this problem that we are looking at. Any questions here? So here collocation point is taken as half, and then A2 is determined, and A2 is substituted into the admissible solution, and approximate solution is obtained. After this, what is the next step? Next step is I want to see how this collocation method is performing. Means I want to see by plotting exact solution and approximate solution that I got from collocation method, starting with quadratic trial solution. Please note that this is also quadratic trial solution. Okay, so this is how the plot looks like. Collocation method. Here also a lot of error is there. You can see here a lot of error is there, and this is the derivative of this solution. Derivative of this solution. Exact derivative and approximate derivative. Any questions? No questions? And here, please note that this is the solution that you got by taking collocation point is equal to half. If somebody somebody redid this problem using 0.25 quarter point, they may get a different A2 value here. They may get a different A2 value, and then approximate solution is going to be different. Again, this is all going to be different. So that is one of the limitation of collocation method. Collocation method accuracy is going to depend on where you are selecting the collocation point, and there is no strict guideline on where to select the collocation point. Any questions? No questions?
Sir, Sir, I have a question in least weight residual method. Sir, if we are adding boundary residual to domain residual, so there can be chance na ki that constant we need to determine in domain residual, it won't match exactly with boundary residual. There will be some different constants also.
No, it won't be like that. It's not going to be like that. You try it, okay? That's why I'm saying you need to try the assignment.
Okay.
It's not going to be like that. You are taking partial derivative of error function with respect to the unknown parameter. Both in the boundary residual as well as in the domain residual, you are taking with respect to the same unknown parameter.
So,
okay.
So sir, there can be chance now one residual can become 0 for particular constant.
Yes. That's why I'm saying please attempt the assignment problem. Understand? Now whatever you are talking, you listen to my lecture, and based on your imagination you are talking. Just attempt the assignment problem, and then we'll discuss further. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Any other questions? Is this collocation method clear to you? It's the simplest method, but the problem is the selection of collocation point. Where I have to select, that is the problem. And if somebody is lucky, if there's the collocation point they selected is it might give more accurate solution than somebody else who selected a wrong collocation point. Okay. And one more important thing I want to bring to your attention. Either in least square weighted residual method or in collocation method, how many number of equations you solved? How many number of equations you solved? So many number of equations as unknown parameters that needs to be determined in the admissible solution. When we started with quadratic trial solution for this problem, only one unknown parameter needs to be determined. Only one unknown parameter needs to be determined. So in both collocation method and least square weighted residual method, in both cases you solved only one equation. And please note that when you code anything or when you are running some computer program, most of the time is going to be taken by solving or when you are solving these equations. When you have linear system of equations, more CPU time is going to be taken by that process. So we always need to watch out how many number of equations we are solving. So the point I want to make is, for the same amount of effort, there is an uncertainty in the accuracy of the solution that you get in collocation method, because the collocation point selection is arbitrary. That you keep in mind. Okay. Any questions?
Sir, I have a question. Sir, in collocation method, we are selecting center point as collocation point and we are making error function to be 0 there.
No. Please, I never did like that. This is an arbitrarily selected half. If you want, you select quarter point.
Okay.
I'm telling you repeatedly the same thing. Here, I took some point. Choice is totally arbitrary. It's
Okay.
mentioned, no?
Yes, sir. So, at the center collocation point in the graph, there is a non-zero error, no, sir?
No, please note that it's like we are forcing the error to be 0, but finally, and based on that, we are actually determining the unknown parameter. Okay.
Okay.
And it's like if that's why you need to go back to here, this equation. This is in an integral sense. In an integral sense, error is forced to be equal to 0. But when you actually get it may not be 0.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions? I don't know whether other students are following or not, but I suggest strongly that you need to attempt assignment problems. And I think students, some of the students maybe without any issue they are following, but more questions you are going to get when you are solving assignment problems. Okay. So please make a serious attempt on the assignment problems. And it is worth doing it because you are going to learn the subject more or a better way. Anyway, if there are no questions on the collocation method, what is left out? What is the method that is left out? I mentioned to you least square weighted residual or these weighted residual methods can be broadly classified into 3 categories: least square weighted residual method, collocation method. Next one is Galerkin method. Okay. So once again, in the least square weighted residual method, what is the weight function? It is partial derivative of error function with respect to the unknown parameter. In collocation method, what is the weight function? It is Dirac delta function. In Galerkin method, please note that research in any area means you need to observe what other people so far they have done or what other people currently they are doing. and then watch carefully, and then can we improve something on whatever the things the other people are doing? Can we improve something on that? That is what exactly this Galerkin did. Okay, weight function. The purpose of the weight function is for error cancellation. That you need to be very clear. What is this weight function? Why this weight function has to be included? Because if you integrate error alone, it's going to have error cancellation. For that, I want to show you a small example here. Here, you can see the solid line. Okay, solid line. That is, let's assume that is the exact solution. That is exact solution. And blue line is shown here. Blue line, that is approximate solution. And what is the the problem domain? If the problem domain is from 0 to, let's say this is 1. Problem domain is 0 to 1. And I want to integrate the error. How do I integrate the error? Just this I need to take number of points. At each of the point, I need to find the difference. I need to find the difference between the black solid line and blue line. And you can see in this portion, black line is above blue line. In this portion, blue line is above black line. So if you say error is, if you define error as whatever value given by black line minus blue line, then error is going to be positive in this region, error is going to be negative in this region. When you sum up the entire error, or when you integrate the error from 0 to 1, it may turn out that this positive may get cancelled with negative. Okay? Here, even though it is like, no, I just randomly have drawn some figure, but there is a chance that this exactly matches with this. So finally, you may end up, if you just sum up the error or integrate the error, you may end up, or it gives you a misleading information saying that overall error is 0. But in fact, error is more here, error is more here. Is it clear? So the purpose of this weight function is to do that error cancellation. So one of the simplest weight function that you can have is error itself. That is what is least square weighted residual method. And co-allocation method, Dirichlet delta function is chosen as weight function. And in Galerkin method, what is the weight function? That we are going to discuss. Okay, that we are going to discuss. So now, so why in least square method, weight function is partial derivative of error function with respect to the unknown coefficient. Okay. What this Galerkin did is he replaced error with error, instead of taking partial derivative of error with respect to the unknown coefficient. What he did is he has taken partial derivative of admissible solution with respect to the unknown parameter. That is the weight function. Okay. Here in Galerkin method, the weighting function is defined as partial derivative of u with respect to ai. What is this u? What is this u? It is nothing but admissible solution. And you may ask, what is this? How he selected it? Please note that finally, as engineers, we are interested in, first of all, we are looking at approximate methods. I don't require exact solution. As long as the technique works in an approximate sense, as long as I can live with it, I'm happy. So that is what is overall engineering is. That is what is engineering. So the purpose of this weight function is error cancellation, and Galerkin tried with this. Instead of error function, he tried with admissible solution itself, and it worked out, much better way. So that is the a good thing about this Galerkin method. So if you understood least square weighted residual method, you replace that weight function there with this, and rest of the procedure is same. Okay, for the given problem, admissible solution is this. I'm not repeating that the first few steps. Okay, those steps are common for all the methods. First few steps, starting with the trial solution, quadratic trial solution, substituting the essential boundary condition, getting the admissible solution. All those steps are common for least square weighted residual method, collocation method, Galerkin method. So those steps are not repeated again here. So directly admissible solution is taken, and then rest other derivatives are taken, error function is defined, and now weight function is as per this definition, which is given by Galerkin. Okay, so now you take this as weight function, and as usual, multiply weight function with error function, integrate over the problem domain, and you are going to get so many number of equations, so many weight functions as so many unknown parameters that are going to be there in your admissible solution. So once you have so many weight functions, so many equations you are going to get. If you have two unknown parameters to be determined in the admissible solution, if you have two unknown parameters to be determined in the admissible trial solution, you are going to get two weight functions and you are going to get two equations. You solve those two equations. Here, there is only one unknown parameter that needs to be determined and one weight function and one equation. Solve that equation and you get A2. Once you get A2, you substitute this in the admissible solution, you get approximate solution. Any questions? Or no questions? And if you extend it, or if you want to solve this using this assignment problem using this technique, then wherever E is there, you replace with U. And there is no domain, UD, nothing like that. Okay. Yeah, this here D will be there. Error function associated with domain and error function associated with boundary. Okay. And please, this D should be subscript. B should be subscript. Any questions? So A2 is obtained. A2 is obtained using Galerkin method. Approximate solution is given by this. And here something is written, basic formulation. Forget about this at this stage. Okay. Why it is called basic? Why Galerkin method basic form? Another small modification is there. Why it is called? We'll see later. Any questions? So this is the approximate solution. So now next step, what we are doing is we are always comparing by plotting it. Let's plot it. You will get surprised. So this is how exact and approximate are matching with each other. Okay. So you can see Galerkin method for the same amount of effort. When I say same amount of effort, in the sense, how many number of equations you are solving? You are solving same number of equations. Least square weighted residual method, you solve the same number of equations. Collocation method also you solve same number of equations. Galerkin method also you solve same number of equations. But the solution that you get from Galerkin method is superior to the other methods. Okay. So that is why Galerkin method is chosen for finite element method. So if you want this finite element method can be developed based on least square weighted residual method. That is what is called least square weighted residual based finite element method, collocation based finite element method, Galerkin based finite element method. And Galerkin method is superior to rest of the methods. That's why finite element method is based on Galerkin under weighted residual. Under weighted residual methods, Galerkin is the champion. Any questions here? No questions?
Sir,
So we'll see.
excuse me.
We'll see in tomorrow's class variational method. Tell me.
So why is boundary error added when natural boundary conditions are given?
No, because I want to sum up all the error. I want to include all the error that is coming in the problem.
Mathematically, how can we prove that?
Huh? What is that?
What is the mathematical proof for that? Like earlier, you do.
I want to sum up all the errors. Okay, I want to sum up all the errors. I want to minimize error associated with a domain as well as boundary. And that is the reason. Finally, one more thing I want to bring to your attention, then we are going to stop. Okay, and whatever approximate solution that you get, how do we check whether that is correct or not? Please note that where we started, we imposed the essential boundary condition. We imposed the essential boundary condition in a strict sense. Okay. And so final, whatever approximate solution that you get, it has to satisfy essential boundary condition. What is essential boundary condition? U evaluated at x is equal to 0 is 0. You can see it is satisfied whatever you got from Galerkin method. It is also satisfied whatever you got from the collocation method. It also satisfied whatever you got from the least square method. Whereas natural boundary condition need not be satisfied. So that is why it's called natural boundary condition. Why it's called natural boundary condition? When it's going to be satisfied. Natural boundary condition is going to be satisfied as you increase the order of the trial solution. Natural boundary condition is going to satisfy in a natural manner. As you keep on increasing the order of the approximation, naturally it satisfies. So because natural boundary conditions involves derivative term, it's very difficult to obtain convergence for derivative. Okay, so we'll discuss more further in tomorrow's class. If you make a serious attempt on the assignments. Any other questions? If there are no questions, we'll stop here.
Sir,
okay.
Sir, in terms of calculation, collocation method is the best one. No? Means
No, it's not. I'm telling you, the effort is always lies in the number of equations you are solving. So the number of equations that you end up in solving is going to be same for all the methods.
Okay, but
for understanding, you may be thinking from integration, I can avoid integration. That is mathematically the integration is nothing. Integration is additional, adding things. Okay. Whenever matrix inversion is involved, when matrix inversion is going to be involved, when you are solving equation system, that consumes more time. Basic operation, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Basic operations may not carry much, or they may not demand much time.
Okay, sir.
Okay, think about it. We'll discuss further. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Let me take attendance. I don't know why class attendance is less today. Is it lunchtime? Is that the reason? Just 1 second. Anyway, thank you.